Hello, my name is Creostix, and welcome back to Dovetail Euro Fishing. We've been, playing a lot of Alan Wake and the like lately, and I figured, well, since we've been in a horror story involving, a lake, well, why not just have a soothing trip to a lake, which would be this one. So we'll be going back to the Bergsee Lake, and our tackle box is unchanged from the last many times we've been playing so far, because the rods and reels and all that good stuff, they do seem to serve me decently well. And if I remember correctly, this is indeed the lake that looks like sort of like a diver's goggles, essentially. I think that's what I think Bergsea was, with the very Bob Ross-esque cabin in the distance there. Yes, I think that's the one. It's been a little while since I played this last time, but I believe that was the Bergsea Lake. But the important bit is that it is in the outside and in the fresh air and in the soothing grasslands and mountainsides and forest edges and all that good stuff of the good old nature. So, without further ado, let's just hope that we get. Oh, there we are. Okay, so I don't exactly remember where we were last time, but I think I left for the very center in the lower part there. Maybe go for the lower right edge this time and see what that gives us. And indeed, it does look like a diver's goggles, that place, which that's an interesting form for a lake, but I'll take it. Right, looks pretty good. It's a nice little an interesting spot there. I wonder where's the closest peg I could claim. Oh, wait, I can probably claim all of this. Yeah. I think that's exactly the one spot yes, because that little rock formation and bottom formation looks very, very interesting. I really like it. Indeed, and our reel is Sonic Tornos 10,000, and our line is the Corda 25 Supernatural. The rig is Corda IQD Rig 4, and the baits we will be using. One of them will be the large sweet corn double, so I might as well just toss that one then into the lake. Oh, and our weather is dynamic again, so we are going to have some rain and wind, but that's, part of the fun. The first thing is, I just want to see, is it possible to get fish if it's really just there on that strange little spot? That's really interesting. It didn't really go into a depth yet, but it'll probably sort of roll down the hill, if you will. And the second one, I'll be using the pop-up tiger nuts of 20mm, and it's a floating one, which actually should be pretty useful if there's more weeds here, like there was in the very first one over there. And indeed, the important bit is not necessarily to catch fish, although we will be getting those as well, I'm sure, but to relax and see what happens, because I'm always interested in seeing where are the strangest spots I can catch some fish in, and that's what I'm going to try to find out. And that would go into 0.1, so that's actually a tiny touch deeper than the other ones, maybe even a bit too, actually. I'm not sure if I can. There, just one more time. A really short cast right there. Is it technically speaking in the water still? I think so, but I believe I should absolutely not pick the rod up again, because then it'll probably just reset the rod into the reeled in position, because it's so close. And indeed, I do like to try to get the weird fish, or the weird spots to get fish from, and if we're lucky again, we might be able to even see the fish that are going to take the bait. So let's hope for the best. And we indeed do have some rain and some bit of a wind as well, but that's fine. Wind is good. Wind gives some life to the leaves and all that good stuff here. And actually, it doesn't look like a very bad place to, under the rain. It's just a little wet and cold maybe, but we have a tent. We can always just warm ourselves in the tent, just do some just cuddle yourself a bit there, and then you'll be fine. Huddle up, and and we have the lovely chair as well, which is always useful. Well, relaxing to be around. And we have some bait and a bit of a backpack or such and such as we usually do. Good, 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 good. I do wonder though. I wonder if one can catch fish on top of that little bed of something. I got a feeling that at least the number 2 bait has absolutely drifted forward into a spot where 100% fish will eventually bite to it. I I will probably bail out on, for example, number 1 or 3. I'm still formulating an opinion on those. Maybe on the third one, if well, number 2 is going. So let's check on some. Could you let me just pick it up, please? Thank you. And just adjust the reeling to be down so it's not too hard again. 25 usually is the sweet spot that allows me to keep the reeling button down, but it doesn't usually break the proceedings here. Let's see. It doesn't create too much tension on the line and all that good stuff. Man, all this rain does remind me of a number of fishing trips on, different lakes in Finland where, just the weathers break out and you're like, but I gotta keep fishing. It's since we're here, let's just see. Maybe it'll, quiet down a bit and all that good stuff. Ooh, careful, careful. Take it nice and smooth. That's a little, jittery fish there. It goes from side to side a little more than usually, but just there you go. Nice and careful. Let's see what you are. I have no guesses at this point. Ooh, a tench. A decent sized one, I think, as well. A nice yellow color and a tench of 5.02 kilograms. Not too bad. That sure is a tench. And let's see here. This time I'm gonna throw this like far away onto the right there. So you see what we managed to get as our surface over there. Ooh, a bit too far actually. There you are. Into the silt on there. That's hopefully going to be interesting. I am starting to think that probably these two will not get a fish in. They sort of are probably just stuck on this side of that rock formation. So I think I'm gonna just well, technically speaking, it is in the water, but it didn't seem to work. Is my point. So let's see if we can redo that a bit better. Maybe on the edge of that side. A bit far even, maybe, but so let's do one more. Just a little closer. That's pretty good. Yeah, let's see what that says. Ooh, and I saw some lights on or a reflection of some probably stones or something on that wall there, because there was a small light glint from there. But ooh, and the rain actually did quiet down. That's good. The number 1 has gone a little bit into there, but oh, huh, okay. It's just that's careful. I don't know if that'll count as a spot either. So let's just see if we can put it right in between those rocks, but in so that it's still in the water, technically speaking. That's a little to the left there, or the right. Sorry, I just want to a little more to the left, and come on. That looks, yeah, exactly there. Because I'm curious. That's close enough to, water proper that it should, in in my understanding, work. And our pop-up tiger in the distance is once again paying dividends, let's say. Oh man. Also, actually, story time again. Looking at those mountains in the distance actually reminds me of the time when, as a kid, I actually went to Norway. With family on like a road trip or such. Uh, I actually don't think I did a lot of any real fishing in there. We didn't have. I don't think we took our equipment with us, but I do, however, remember that at one point, um, I we stopped next to this fjord. This sort of like a. It's it's a kind of a you know a river flowing down the mountain. That sort of thing is a fjord, and I was just like, I was like really young, but I still vaguely remember the moment, and and I was like, huh, that's a cool looking little fjord. Hey, I'd like to just go swim in it. And when I say swim, I mean like the water was just about yay deep, so it was like almost mostly just a tiny bit of lying down and splashing with the water in the very running water, mind you. But nonetheless, still technically speaking, sort of swimming. Oh, that is fishy. Whoa, a ghost carp, I think, but or a koi? Yeah, a koi carp. Absolutely right. Obviously, a koi carp. Sorry, my mind's been doing the translation tricks on the koi and the ghost carp. I've explained this before, but yeah, it's like as far as I understand, the Finnish language doesn't have a good word for the ghost carp. So both the koi carp and the ghost carp seem to be both called koi carps in Finland. Koi. It's weird. But yeah, koi carp of 9.15 kilograms. That is cool. I like it. And let's should we go into the same-ish direction again, or maybe a bit to the more to the center and just real far away? Ooh, well, if it goes to the water, it's fine. Because I need to, yeah, fine, and I need to pick up number 3 and see what that brings us today, and adjust the reeling thing. Right. So, right about the swimming in the fjord story. So, indeed, not much of a story, but just careful. Man, that's a jittery fish. A sort of moment of memory, let's say. So in the end, I indeed, swam a little bit in that small fjord, and there were some tadpoles in there with me, and I was like, "Yay, that's awesome! I'm one with nature and all that good stuff." And so yeah, the memory of those mountains all those mountains remind me of that moment, and I can say that, well, I have swam in a fjord in Norway, so that's a cool thing to do, and I wholeheartedly recommend you do that. It's fun, and it makes you feel really refreshed, and makes you feel like you've done something. I feel, and that would be a tench, a nice grayish color this time, or a grayish yellow, a 4.15 kilograms. It actually looked maybe a bit smaller than that, but 4.15, not bad at all. I like it. Okay then, so where do we want to throw number 3 next? Should we go like in there? Maybe like right next to those rocks in the distance if we can? Let's see. So roughly in that direction. And just try to avoid the... There you go. You know, to not to mess up the throw and just throw it fairly max-ish. Yeah, that's... Ooh, that's actually really... That's way too far, even. I want to put it next to those rocks. So come on. Come on. Come now. That's pretty good. Yeah, there you go. Stay there. And number one seems to have, drifted onto very clearly into the water, so it's absolutely in the area where it can have fish, yes, as long as we just get a tiny, tiny little bit lucky with that. While we wait for that, we might as well go check the stone here. We just might have enough of area to go check out this one. So, are there any interesting growths or metals in there? But it's it looks like a nice spot to put like a small like a flat surface on that to sit on and just watch the edge of the lake there and just have a picnic right there. And that's actually a pretty good spot to be in. I would like to go right there and just eat a sandwich and have some hot cocoa or something like that, and or maybe like a juice of maybe maybe orange juice or apple juice or I like most juices really. They're kind of, as long as it tastes all vitamin like, I'm good. Yes. Oh, let's go check. What do we have in rod number 2 again? All the way in there. Good. So, which means it'll probably be a decently easy reel in, because the further away the fish are, it's usually easier to reel in. While I may have indeed sort of shot myself in the foot in the way that I oftentimes put the baits in a very close proximity to me, I do that because it's sort of fun. But in the end, indeed, if the fish is already far away when you start reeling it in, I find it's essentially almost an autopilot thing to get it to you and then just to really, catch it. So, because you don't need to worry about the close quarters struggle that sometimes happens with the fish, because they'll tire themselves out in the distance already. And number 3 rod is also going, but let's see if we can indeed get that one as well. That remains to be seen. We don't know yet. And I think our day is pretty long this time, because it's still, fairly, early-ish in the morning in the clock there, but that's fine. That's fine. Ooh. I think number 1, well, it ate for like a second, but didn't really go beyond that. Okay. Because there was an extra beeping, which wasn't number 3, so that's how I know. Come now. We're kind of in a hurry for the number 3 one, if you will. I would love to get that one as well. Although, again, it's perfectly possible that we might lose fish at some point. I've lost a couple in the series, and that's fine. We're here to just take a deep breath and relax, really. Not to, worry about what fish gets lost and what fish gets caught. But I think that's pretty much starting to be ripe for taking it. Yeah, there you are. Let's see what you are. You might be pretty big, but then again, I've been wrong before, so just see what it is. Ooh, that looks decently big. A common carp of 12.81 kilograms. That is a nice, big one. And what's with the number 3? I believe it was the corded dumbbell, which was the number 3 bait. Come on, reel it. Yeah, there you go. It created a lot of slack in the line there when it came sort of closer to me, which is actually kind of unusual. They usually swim pretty much a beeline away from me when they get caught in the hook. But, a careful, easy, nice and smooth. Just try to think happy thoughts and tire yourself out. Just, nice and smooth. There's no reason to worry. I'm going to just keep the rod steady there on the left and just try to sort of adjust and pump the reeling in based on the tension this time. Usually I don't have to do that, but the fish is so close that I'm just gonna let it do its thing. Right, like so. That's it. Not there you go. Let's see what you are. Sort of dragged it against the. Ooh, a bream. Hmm. Nice big bream. Ooh, always the fun thing to get when you're fishing because breams feel big and look big when you're a kid, especially. So it's like, yeah, I got a big fish, woohoo! A bream of 4.7 kilograms. That's awesome. I like it. It might even be a specimen bream. Then I'm not sure. Maybe. Okay. Let's see here. I kind of like the direction there. Let maybe throw both of these far away in that direction in the middle-ish of the lake and see what happens. That's pretty good. And the same goes for number 2. Yeah, I still have time to. Although obviously there's no way of guaranteeing that. Oh, well, as long as it hits the water again, we're fine. You know, that's good too. Oops. Ooh, gravel surface and a deep gravel surface is at that. That's fine. Or a bottom, really, like a gravel bed, let's say. I'm almost tempted to rethrow number 1, but then again, it is clearly in the water. It needs some time and some luck. We'll see. Obviously, if no more fish eat, then that's, life is like that. But that's neither here nor there because we're all here to just take. Oh, well, that's. I stand corrected then. Let's see what we get from number 2 again. And there we go. A good, nice reel. It's a 7.3 deep even. That's a really deep lake actually in the middle, too. 7.4 even as a 7.5 at a maximum. And number 3 is going as well, I think. It went pretty quickly though, which means I just hope that I can get this one, bagged pretty quickly so we can get number 3 as well. We'll see. It's also possible that number 3 might be the last fish of the video because we're sort of running against the clock here, but we'll see where it goes. We'll see where it goes. Oftentimes when I say that some fish is the last one, there oftentimes is just one more that just eats and bites right at the end, and I'm like, oh well, I gotta take that as well then. But again, also number 3 depends on will we be able to catch it anyway. So I think that's pretty right. There you go. Ooh, I'm not sure. I saw a bit of it, but I'm not sure what that is still. A tench of 4.61 kilograms. Not bad at all. Okay, let's see here. Quarter dumbbell, and let's see what has eaten a bit of the quarter dumbbell. Ooh, a bit of slack there again. But this time, indeed, the fish was again swimming away from me as they usually do. They go away from me like the waters of the Norwegian fjords. So, let's see what you are made of. Just nice and smooth and just comes to Creo sticks, just like a good fishy. Boy fishy or girl fishy, that makes no real difference to me at this stage. I'm curious of the species and the size. I don't think I've caught any boss fish from this lake yet. I'm blanking. Ooh. Again, one ate a little bit, but then it sort of, gave up. Okay, interesting. Okay, easy. Nice and smooth. Take it. You're a jittery one. Huh, a sort of a sand-colored skin on the fit. Aha, that's a big tench. 6.55 kilogram tench. Not bad. I like it. And a really cool bronze color. Ooh. That is an interesting one. But indeed, I am actually all out of time for this episode here. Obviously, if during the outro number one goes again, that's another thing. But with that said, I am indeed all out of time for this episode. But I do hope you've enjoyed this, and if you have, please do drop a like or a comment or even subscribe or share if you want to. It will really, really help. And thank you so much for watching, and I will see you again next time.